Hey you guys, welcome back to the landscape photography series. So behind me we have the beautiful seascape, and what we're getting ready to do, right? So in our last video we still have this cloud coverage, so we're getting a lot of diffused light coming in, which is really nice because this is the time you want to get out to try and photograph stuff, because you have beautiful calm light, especially if you look at the tip of these rocks right over here, this point. Very subtle light, a nice warm glow to it. But what we're going to do this time is we're going to set up, which we already did, and the idea is we're going to essentially do our bracketed shots. So right now, this is what we're looking at, right? It's kind of hard to see. There we go. Right, so don't worry about the blinkies. Those are my highlights. So that's what we're shooting. Right now it's low tide. I was hoping the water would be up here and coming in, but it's currently low tide, so it's still going out. It should be transitioning here soon and it'll start coming in, but I won't be here much longer. And so what we're going to do is we'll do our bracketed shots, our -2, our -1, and so on. But then we're going to throw on our neutral density filter and we're going to crank it up to f22. Once we get it up to f22, I'm going to push the highlights. I would rather push the highlights so I can have more shadows, but I'm not worried about the rock formations. I'm only worried about the water. And the reason why is because I want the water to be nice and smooth. And we're going to do a few different ones. I'm going to do a 10-second, a 15, and then a 30-second if I'm able to. Now, if I'm not able to do a 30-second exposure, what I'm going to do is I will take 3 10-second shots, and later when I get to post-production, what I'll do is I'll upload it into Photoshop after I do the basic adjustments. And then there's a subblending mode when you can load them into a stack and you can layer it in a way that only the water will blend, so you have that nice water. And so in a way it's kind of cheating if you're not able to get that 30-second exposure, but we can still achieve it by blending those photos together. You can do it with clouds, you can do it anything where you're trying to create a streak. So we're gonna get back to shooting, and hopefully you get something out of this video. We have a lot more stops that we're going to do, so my whole process, I'm going to consistently explain it. And you know, when we're looking at something like this, right, we got to look at the bigger picture. Earlier I was right over here on this point shooting that way, and then I came up the trail this way to shoot, which I really like this point if the water was higher. I'm probably going to pull back my lens. You could always walk down there if you want to. I don't want to walk down there to get the shot that I want. I really like the looking down shot because there's nothing going on in the sky, so I really can't utilize that within my photo. Unless there was, you know, if it was the break and we're able to get maybe some sun rays or something, because the sun's right over here and we're getting a few rays but not a whole lot. But if we had like some blue or, you know, something different with the sky, yeah. But so because there's nothing in the sky, I gotta adjust and come down, and I'd rather have more ground than sky. Even though there's a little bit of sky over here, that's fine, but it's better to have more ground versus sky because there's nothing going on, and at least that's adding to the photo. And that's a question you have to ask yourself, right? When you're making these small, minute adjustments, the question is this going to add or take away from the photo, right? When we're shooting, we want to shoot it as we feel it. How do you feel right now? What's the landscape? What's the color, right? Adjust your Kelvin, adjust your focus, move up, move down, move left, move right, and make these minute adjustments because you don't know when you're going to get to travel again. Now, if you live in the country, different story. But when you're traveling to that country, you want to make these small adjustments and get multiple photos and multiple shots. And I'm a huge advocate of HDR because I'm coming from the US, right? And so if I shoot, you know, -2, -1, 0, +1, +2, guess what? I have that entire dynamic range. So I have my darkest darks and my brightest brights. So I can always come back and try and blend it in different ways and come up with different ideas to achieve that beautiful look. Now, when I blend my photos, let me clarify something. I do not use a software like an HDR software in Lightroom where you take them and then it creates one photo. I manually blend in my photo. So I will take my basic base photo, the photo that I'm going to build off of, and then I'm like, okay, you know, for example, looking at the rock, there's a little bit of highlights on the rock. You have the highlights in the water, right? And so that's something that I will pull from a brighter photo, then blend in so it looks more even. And then once we blend all of that together, what we'll do is then we'll have our basic blend photo. And in Photoshop, you know, it's simple. Control-Alt-Shift-E, you have your 3 photos, 4 photos, whatever that you've manually blended, and now we have our base photo that we can then go into Camera Raw and then start doing that process of processing it there, and then doing our detailed processing, our dodging and burning and stuff like that within Photoshop. I don't do dodging and burning in Capture One. I just do basic edits, you know, color, temp, brightness, contrast, highlight, shadows, and stuff like that. And then I'd rather focus more on Photoshop with the rest, because there's a lot more I can do and I have a lot more control, because I'm able to edit the photo in a non-destructive way where I'm not destroying my JPEGs, or correction, my RAWs. I'm not destroying my RAW photos. And that's the biggest thing. You don't want to destroy those, because once you destroy it, there's nothing you can do. You have to reshoot it unless you duplicate it. But those are unnecessary steps in my opinion. So hopefully you get something out of this video. I'm gonna quickly set up a few more shots and then I'm gonna head on to my next location. Hopefully you like this. Please like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video.